Hey guys, what is up? It's your boy Owl here again. Today, playing some more Project Ascension. And today we'll be doing a leveling guide. I've been asked for by a lot of people, and by a lot of people I mean like two, uh, to make a leveling guide for a Horde. So I decided today I will be making that leveling guide for Horde. Once again, this is patch 3.3.5a, which is Wrath of the Lich King. So do not use this guide for Classic WoW in the event that you do play Classic, because this will not benefit you at all, especially since there's higher XP rates on the server. But it'll give you a little gist of where you should go for what levels. So yeah, let's get right into it. So today we're going to be strictly starting with Horde, and then maybe in another video I'll do Alliance. So let's pull up a map, and let's pull up all the factions maybe on the left, and we'll go from there. So first and foremost, I really suggest you start in your starting zone. Please don't leave. I know a lot of people used to do that. Just start in your starting zone, get a quick level 10, and then go from there. So for Trolls and Orcs, you're going to start in Durotar. For the Tauren, you're going to start in Mulgore. And the Undead, you're going to start in Tirisfal Glades. Basically, just level through there, stay there. I know for Orcs, you go from the Valley of Trials straight to Razor Hill, and then for the Tauren, it's pretty much all of Mulgore, and then same for the Undead, it's pretty much all of Tirisfal Glade. So make sure you stay in your respective starting zone. It's really not a smart idea to venture out from there. And make sure you're not just leaving there at a low level. Try and do as many quests as you can. For instance, on Project Ascension, I didn't leave Valley of Trials till about level 8, and then I went on to Razor Hill. So I highly suggest you do that. Alright, so the next zone you're going to move on to if you're a Troll, Orc, or Tauren is the Barrens, which is arguably the best zone for leveling in Kalimdor from levels 10 to about 23. You could push 25 here, but realistically you're kind of just wasting time at that point. Basically, you're going to run from Durotar or Mulgore, wherever you need to, over to Crossroads. Crossroads is going to be the main hub for this area in the middle of the map, just above Wailing Caverns. And you're going to be spending a lot of time running back and forth between here and Camp Tarajo. Most of the quests are going to be found in Crossroads, but you should be good here until about level 25. Another notable thing about the Barrens is that this is a very, very high PvP dense zone, not only at low levels, but also at high levels. But specifically for you lobies, a lot of those players will also go high risk and try and gank you at the first opportunity. So I definitely suggest that you opt into it early so you get your feet wet and you understand what the PvP is all about and what it's like losing gear instead of waiting till 60 and then getting salty about it. So I definitely recommend that at these lower levels you opt into high risk and try it out. Nothing wrong with losing some low level gear. So next up we have our Undead boys again. They're going to be going to Silver Pine Forest straight after Tirisfal Glade. So you can see from 1 to 10 you're in Tirisfal, and then 10 to 23 you're in Silver Pine. So my overall opinion of Silver Pine Forest is it's pretty boring and the quests are pretty damn spaced out. So I pretty much would suggest just going to Barrens, take the Zeppelin to Durotar, and then run to Barrens. And it's pretty safe, so if you're looking for a safe place to quest without getting ganked all the time, I definitely recommend Silver Pine Forest. You're going to be safe there pretty much the whole time. So next up is one of my favorites, but a lot of people don't like it, and that's Hillsbrad Foothills. And you're going to want to come here around level 23 or 25 in my opinion, but you can come here as low as 20. Basically, when you get here, you're going to go straight to Tauren Mill. Tauren Mill is going to have all the quests for you, and that's going to be your hub. And the nice thing about this zone is, in my honest opinion, I think it's way safer than Ashenvale. You're going to have a much safer time here, not dealing with too many people, and all the quests are pretty close together. When you're doing one quest, you're realistically going to be able to do about 3 or 4, because every time I was heading back to Tauren Mill, I had 4 quests to turn in every single time. So if you want to do a lot of quests at once, I definitely recommend Hillsbrad. It's a very small zone, as you can tell by the map, and you're going to be doing multiple quests at once, so it'll be worth it. For those in Kalimdor, it's way out of the way in my opinion, so don't really come here unless you feel like those other zones are either boring to you or you're getting ganked too much. So to my Orc and Troll friends, your map should look like this by now. We've been to Durotar and Barrens, and if you're a Tauren, just circle Mulgore. And next we're pushing on to Thousand Needles from levels 23 to 35. This zone is, as the title says, dominated by thousands of needles, and what needles are basically giant mountain tops, and just below them are very deep valleys. To the far right of the zone is Shimmering Flats, where you go once you're around that level 33-35 range. But for the most part, you should be questing in that middle part, which is pretty damn hard to navigate in my opinion. There are a lot of players that come to the zone because it is the most optimal route to go straight from Barrens to Thousand Needles. However, the quests themselves are very hard to navigate in the zone in my opinion. Your hub here is going to be Freewind Post, which is basically a Tauren camp somewhere along one of those needles. I couldn't point it out to you if I tried. But you have Freewind Post there, and that's going to be your main hub for the area. You're going to stay here till about 35, and it should be a pretty easy zone, but in my opinion, I really don't recommend it, even though it's the most optimal, just because it's such a hard zone to navigate. Unfortunately, to our Forsaken friends, it's time to hop on that Zeppelin and head to Durotar, because we're heading to Dustswallow Marsh, which is, in my opinion, the next greatest zone. So if you're in Thousand Needles, just head up and to the right, and you're pretty much there. So basically, this zone I really like because 1, the mob density, 2, the quest density, and 3, the PvP. I didn't really include PvP on here, but to the northwest we have Brackenwall Village, and to the southwest we have Mudsprocket. Brackenwall Village is a town run by ogres, and it has the flight path. That's going to be your main quest hub, and Mudsprocket you're going to occasionally run down to do other quests. But the reason why I like this zone so much, and I think this zone's so great, is because 1, there's a ton of elites running around that you can kill, and elites give great XP. And 2, there's a lot of rares in the area that drop really good loot, and on top of that give great XP. The quest density is amazing. You're going to be doing multiple quests at the same time, especially against those worm tongue casters or the little whelplings. Those quests are great for you. You're going to do multiple at once, and I genuinely think you can push the zone all the way to 45, but I only said 41 because, you know, I really think you should go to Tanaris after this. But overall, Dustswallow Marsh is a great zone to head to, and I really, really think you should go there. I think I go pretty uncontested when I say this next one, that the next greatest zone to quest in and the most optimal is easily Tanaris, solely because as soon as you walk between those mountains of Thousand Needles and gaze your eyes upon the glory that's known as Gadgetzin, and you see those like 9 to 10 quests, maybe not 9 to 10, like 8 quests that you can pick up right off the bat, you realize that this zone is meant to just be powered through. So I really like Tanaris solely because of Gadgetzin. Of course, there's the auction house and the density of quests right there for you. And on top of that, you have Steam Weedleport just to the east, which allows for another quest hub that is easily bounced between, which is super nice. So of course, in Gadgetzin, you have the first couple quests that have you bounce between the bandits and back. And that's what I mean when I say that you keep running back to similar spots. When you do these bandit quests, you go back 3 times, and then when you go to Steam Weedleport, you're going back to those pirates around 2-3 times as well, just to get those quests done, which is super nice because you become familiar with the zone and familiar with where the mobs are. So it's really easy to crank those out super quick. On top of that, if you went to Dustswallow Marsh, I just want to applaud you. You already have 1 quest for Zul'Farrak. And if you're coming to Tanaris for the first time, Gadgetzin has a couple ZF quests for you, so pick those up. And this is the only time I will tell you to do a dungeon. And I highly recommend that you do ZF because there's a ton of XP to be got there. And 2, the quests that you do in there will reward you with a ton of XP as well. So when you come out of ZF with all those quests done, you're looking at like a level and a half, maybe 2 levels of pure experience just from doing 1 run with all those quests, which is super nice. Make sure you always ask your party members if they have quests to share, because if they do, you're only going to benefit from it more. Now, the last thing I want to say about Tanaris is that it allows for the perfect transition to Un'Goro. Un'Goro being pretty much the last spot you're really going to grind out. So in Gadgetzin, you're going to come across some goblins who are going to ask for samples from Un'Goro. You're going to turn them into them, and you're going to realize that you're getting really close to these quests that are found in Un'Goro, and eventually you're just going to be doing the quests in Un'Goro. So Tanaris is great because it transitions you perfectly into that next zone and gets ready for your final grind. Alright, the last zone that I already mentioned is going to be Un'Goro Crater. And Un'Goro Crater, you're going to be grinding from 51 to 58, and it kind of sucks that you can't get 60 here, but you can grind 51 to 58 pretty easily. Solely because there's so many quests, not only in the southeast as soon as you come here from Tanaris, but also in the middlemost area. In the mountains, there's a place called Marshall's Stand, where you can not only get the only flight path in the area, but you can get all the respective quests. So I highly encourage you to do all the quests in the southeast, finish those up, and then immediately head north to Marshall's Stand. And of course, this zone is pretty nice because you can do all the quests pretty much at the same time, other than the Tar quests and the Hive quests, which require you to be in the north or the south respectively, but most mobs are pretty much right next to each other. And of course, one of the scariest parts of the zone is you are going to get PvP'd on all the time. It's really hard to avoid PvP here, but if you want the best zone to quest in, you really do need to come to Un'Goro. I recommend going no risk if you're really that scared, but Un'Goro has the best quest density by far, and all the mobs are pretty much right next to each other. So I highly recommend coming here, even if you're scared of the PvP. You might as well come here, come at a time when there's not a lot of people online, or maybe come with a group and quest it out, because you can do this place, get to 58, and then head to your final grind right after it. And so our journey is finally coming to an end here. We're going to take a road in the west of Un'Goro through the mountains to a wonderful place called Silithus that's overrun by bugs and scarabs and the Anchorage and disgusting things. So we're going to head west, and you're going to find a place called Valor's Rest. Pick up a quest there, and you're going to keep heading west along that road till you hit a place called Cenarian Hold. In Cenarian Hold, you're going to grab everything you need to, and pretty much you're just going to start questing. It's going to be pretty quick, and you're going to hit 60. I really don't have any complaints about this zone, other than maybe there's quite a bit of PvP, and there's groups running around that will be ready to gank you. They pretty much just came from Un'Goro to Silithus, so the same people you saw in Un'Goro are going to be in Silithus now. So be careful. There's inevitable PvP to be found, so if you're scared, go no risk, whatever. It's fine. Just grind it out. It should be like an hour or two, and then you're done. And congratulations, you finally hit 60. Silithus is a pretty easy grind, so that's why I'm not going too in depth with it. Just finish all the quests in Cenarian Hold, and you should hit 60. So at the end here, I'm going to include the most optimal route on the left, in my opinion. And of course, on the right, I'm going to include the route that I decided to take through Kalimdor. I stuck strictly to Kalimdor. I really don't think you should finish up questing in Eastern Kingdoms, even though you can. It's just that places like Burning Steps and Syrian Gorge, the questing there is just awful in my opinion, so I really don't recommend it. Definitely recommend coming to Kalimdor to do all your questing and finishing up here. But yeah, hopefully you guys can take note of the optimal route and like my personal route, and decide for yourself where you want to go. If you want to go fast, then go the optimal route. If you want to go slow and have fun, then maybe try my route, or just quest on your own. In all honesty, you don't have to heed this guide. I think that just do whatever you want to do. If you want to go fast, go the optimal route. And before I go, guys, let me know in the comments below if this guide helped you, and also if you guys want a level 60 guide on what you should be doing right as you hit 60, and how to make gold, and what you should be doing to get gear. Let me know, because I feel like there's a lot of people that don't know what they should be doing right when they hit 60, and they think that they should just be doing dailies and whatnot, but there's other ways you can get gear. So let me know if you want to hear about that. Leave a comment below saying, hey, this guide helped me. Could you make a level 60 guide? And I will gladly make that. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Alright, catch you later. Peace.